One of the most common questions I get on my electrical videos are, can I add multiple outlets? I've shown you how to add an outlet from another outlet, but can I add multiples? And the answer is yes, and I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. I've got an existing outlet behind this cabinet right here, and I'm going to expand that to put 3 more outlets here, and I'm going to explain the project coming up.
Important note: adding outlets does not add capacity to the circuit. It simply prevents the need for extension cords. Your circuit is limited by the capacity of your circuit breaker.
All right, so I'm in the middle of this bookcase project here, and we're going to put a fireplace, an electric fireplace with a mantle under the TV. And these things are going to be built in, the bookcases and these base cabinets. Now, the problem is there's no outlet here. The funny thing is there's an outlet under here, and there's going to be an outlet under there. So I'm going to obviously drill in the bottom of those cabinets to let that outlet come through. And that'll be good because we'll put all this cable stuff in there. But what I need to do is run an outlet here. There was also never an outlet behind the TV. So we need to run an outlet up there as well. Okay, so the first things first, we're going to turn off the power. You can see that's a hot outlet. So let's go turn off that breaker. And that one should be number 12. Now this is an AFCI breaker, so I always press the white button to kick it off, just to test it. And now we can see this is dead. So now that's the outlet that I'm going to open up, and I'm going to take power from that to run a new junction box here. And you can see this outlet is what I call the end of the run because it has nothing else attached to it. So we're going to attach another wire to it, and I'm gonna run it from there down to here because this is going to be hidden behind cabinets, and you'll see it's going to be a utility outlet for the fireplace to plug into. But anyway, I'm going to run with a coat hanger. I'm going to go down to here and type a wire on and pull it up. Uh-oh. That's not good. All right, I got it. Now for this, I'm using 14 gauge wire because this is existing 14 gauge wire because it's a 15 amp circuit, and I could tell that because I saw the circuit breaker says 15 amps on it. It has a 15. Now, the electrician that installed this outlet used these press-in connectors in the back. I don't like press-in connectors. So I'm going to take it out, and the way you do that is with a screwdriver. Now the blacks both go on the brass screws, and the white wires go on the silver screws. The white wires are known as the neutral, and the black is known as the hot. And the grounds also have to get connected together, so I'm going to have to do something special for that because there's only one ground screw, and you can only put one wire on the ground screw. You can't put 2. Now to connect the grounds, I'm going to use this grounding wire connector. It's a wire nut with a hole in the end of it, and what I can do is twist these wires together and that one passes out. As long as these are bonded together, they have to stay together even if you remove the outlet. So that's what the purpose of this is. The wires have to be connected ahead of time and stay connected if you remove the outlet. Now you don't have to use these. I could have just used a wire nut with a short piece of wire, and that's called a pigtail. I could have just pigtailed it, but I like doing this. And now I'm going to make a hook and put that on the wire. You always want to hook the wire in the direction you're going to tighten the screw. So that is clockwise. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the neutrals. Put both neutrals on the same side. I make the hook in the clockwise direction. That's the neutrals and the ground on the one side, and then I turn it over and I put the 2 hot wires on the other side. And you always want to make sure that the insulation is not underneath the screw. Alrighty, that's the end of that. Now I'm not going to put that outlet back just yet because we're going to put a cabinet here and that outlet is going to be on the inside of the cabinet. All right, so this is that wire coming from that outlet, and now this is the junction box I'm going to put here. And I'm actually going to attach it to the side of the cabinet once it's here. So for now, I just need enough wire, more than enough wire actually. I don't mind it being long. And there will be an outlet here, that's where the fireplace will get plugged into. And then the wire is also going to go down to the TV over there. Now this is a metal box. And in the metal box, it's got a place to clamp down the wires, the Romex connector, Romex cable. You can pop these out, put the Romex cable in here and screw that down tight. And that's what I'm going to do. There's also a place for a grounding screw. Whenever you're dealing with a metal box, you always have to ground it. Okay, here you can see I've got my green ground screw in there with a pigtail attached to it. And that's what I'll use later to attach my grounds. And now I just have to take these knockouts out. And then I can put my wires in there. So if I was just putting this outlet in here with these two wires, one being the power coming in from that outlet over there, and the other one going to the TV. If I was just putting that in here, all I'd have to do is put the wires right on the screws. However, I'm going to introduce another wire here because this is going to be for an outlet on top of the mantle. All right, because I've got 3 wires here, plus I need to wire the outlet, I've used pigtails off of the outlet, which are just short wires that were attached to screws. And I have these 5-way Wagos on them. Those are Wago connectors. All right, here you can see all the Wagos are installed. And my ground screw is in the back there. Everything is good. And then this is just going to get pressed in here. All right, here you can see it is all installed. I've got the 2 wires in the bottom. That's the one with power coming in from the outlet over there. This one goes to the TV, and this one is going to go to the outlet on top of the mantle. But for the time being, I don't have an outlet there, so I just cap these off. And this is the outlet box that's going to go in there. It's going to be a wood mantle, and this is going to be set in like this so that they can plug things in from the top of the mantle. If they wanted to put some kind of a wax warmer or lights at Christmas, whatever they want to do, they can plug things in there. So it's always a good idea to think these things through ahead of time. It's a lot easier to do it now than later. I always put in these unused screws. It's always a good practice. And I tighten the wires down as tight as they'll go. And give them a little twist, and you can always tighten them again. All right, and if you noticed, I took the little tabs off of here, the little drywall tabs. And that way, I can, it should fit right in here in this box. Now I'm done, I can turn on the breaker. All right, this is the breaker. Let's flip that back on and test everything out. All right, when installing outlets like these, I like to use this style tester because if you can see that, it has 2 greens on it. 2 greens means that it's wired correctly. I have a good ground and a good neutral. And if it was reversed, there'd be a red wire on it. So this is good, and I test this with every one of the outlets. All right, let's test the original outlet. 2 greens on that. And let's test my new one. And 2 greens on that. Everything is good. Just to wrap this one up, that's the outlet installed and attached to the wall. And you can see I've started the fireplace framing here. That's a preview of what's coming in the next episode. And up here behind the TV is that nice new outlet that has the HDMI cable coming out of it, nice and neat. And that's it. And of course this wire here is waiting for the mantle to be installed. But like I said, that'll be in the next episode. Stay tuned. Hey there, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be the first to know when new videos are posted. Look for HandyDadTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and visit the website HandyDad.tv for more great ideas and information.